What's up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free Major League Baseball home run prop show for Friday, May 26th, 2023. And just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a ton. Now, we will get into the home run prop action for Friday. And we did have a solid day on Thursday. And a couple plays that didn't come through for us, but hey, the ones that did come through gave us some nice plus money winners, something to build on as we head into Friday's action. But then just a reminder, for everybody, these plays are just meant to be, plays for some fun on the side. Sprinkle some pizza or some coffee money on it. Just have a little bit of side action. Don't dump your whole bankroll into these things. They're very high risk, high reward. When they do hit, of course, they're very nice. But unfortunately, we don't hit everything. So definitely want to just make sure you tread lightly with some of these. And like I said, you don't have to play every single play I give out on the board. But like I said, we do our best to hit as many as we can, and we're gonna try to get you guys some nice plus money as well. But if you are looking for the games that I am the most confident in, the games that I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, you head on over to pickdawgz.com and click the premium picks tab at the top of the page. We will get you sorted there. But let's take a look at the plays that we did hit on Thursday. Had a couple nice ones. We started things off and we hit Jorge Soler. And fortunately, in the haste of everything, got rid of the slide that we had yesterday for Jorge Soler, but we still caught him at a decent plus money price. Also hit Pete Alonso at plus 460. I thought that was an absolute gift for Alonso, home run leader, and we got him at plus 460 with a hit. Also got Austin Riley at plus 480. He had two home runs on Friday. Pair of 450-foot bombs, the first since 2015 to hit a pair of 450 home runs in the same game. So yeah, Austin Riley's a great hit, and also Marcelo Zuna in the same game coming through for us at plus 380. Also had Bryce Harper in a lean, but won't necessarily take too much credit for that one. But they all count the same. And if you played it, you heard the Easter egg, you stuck with me the whole way. You caught the Phillies. It's potentially a look in that game. And if you play Bryce Harper, congratulations. But I will preface today's action just by giving you guys a fair warning. There is a ton of action on the board for me today. What I did was looked at all the games. Usually found at least a couple plays from each game. Normally there's a couple games maybe I choose to stay away from when we give out one play, but most of the games I have at least a couple plays on the board today, or at least in each game. So I'm telling everybody, you don't have to play every single play that I give out here. You're more than welcome to if it's within your means. But what I recommend everybody do is if you're going to parlay parlay whatever you want to play, if it's anything above 3 legs, I recommend doing a round robin if it's within your means. Mainly because I always say, how many times have all of us been within one leg of our parlay hitting and something falls apart? It doesn't happen. At least with a round robin, you at least cash if something goes awry. But anyways, we'll get into the home run prop action for Friday's action. We'll start things off with a phase at the scene of the crime where we were yesterday. Going back to the well with Pete Alonso at plus 285, not plus 460 like we were getting yesterday, but he hit his league high 19th homer on Thursday. Now gets a favorable matchup at Coors Field against Connor Siebold, who has struggled. He's allowed more home runs at home. 4 of his 6 allowed this season have come at Coors Field. So you can take Pete Alonso here at plus 285. Also going to take Francisco Alvarez at plus 550. I'm going to go back to Alvarez. I stayed off him for a little bit, but he's hitting 350 with 3 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 2 weeks. Has a decent 9.4% barrel rate this season. So give me Francisco Alvarez at plus 550. Also going to look at Christopher Morel plus 550. I'm almost off the Morel train for a little bit, but I'm going to take one more shot here. Hunter Green, he's allowed 7 home runs in his last 4 starts. He's given up multiple home runs in 3 of the last 4 games. And in the last 2 weeks against righties, Morel still having a 320 batting average, 7 home runs. The hot start's starting to wear off a little bit, but I'm going to take a shot with him again. Give me Christopher Morel at plus 550. Also in the afternoon action, Seiya Suzuki at plus 750. We didn't hit with him yesterday. We went with the pairing of Morel and Suzuki yesterday. But we're going to go back to the well. He still got 4 homers in the last 2 weeks against righties. Had a solid multi-hit game at the dish on Thursday. Think could potentially get one off a Hunter Green here. So take a stab at Seiya Suzuki at plus 750. Going to go to this matchup between the White Sox and the Tigers. And I'm going to go with Luis Robert to hit one at plus 475. He's hitting 419 with 3 home runs against lefties against this against left-handed pitching this season. Figure it's worth a shot here. Joey Wentz for the Tigers, not my favorite starting pitcher for Detroit. He's allowed 6 home runs in his last 4 starts and 8 home runs in his last 7, with a homer allowed in 5 of those 7 starts. Wentz giving up a 9.9% barrel rate this year, while Robert a 14.7% barrel rate this season. So give me Luis Robert at plus 475. Also going to look at Jake Berger to hit one here at plus 475, hitting 269 with 3 home runs against lefties this season. Leads the White Sox with a 23.5% barrel rate. So give me Jake Berger here, a nice hefty burger on Friday with a plus 475 price tag attached. And I'm also going to look at Riley Green to hit a home run for the Tigers. Switch dugouts here at plus 650. Green hitting 419 with a pair of home runs against righties in the last 2 weeks, while Lance Lynn starts for the White Sox, a 9.8% barrel rate allowed this season. He's given up 5 home runs in 5 of his last 6 starts. He's allowed 7 home runs on the road and is still up there among the league's worst pitchers, giving up 12 home runs this season. I'm going to take Riley Green at plus 650. Now I'll take a quick break to remind everybody, I love interacting with you guys. I love seeing the comments that you guys leave in the comment section below, so keep them coming. Do you like the angles that I took on some of these games? Do you not like them? Do you have player props and home run props of your own? I'm all for it. Leave them in the comment section below, but I implore everyone, if you're going to do that, please leave them in there before the games actually start. If they're not in there before the games start, they don't help anybody, and we're trying to beat the books as a team. And none of this thank me later stuff. It's not a competition. We're one team, one goal, and that goal is to crush the books every single day. And like I said, sometimes I look at the comment section and pick out some of the props that you guys give out, because sometimes they have been absolute fire. And hey, like I said, let's crush the books. We're going to make some nice plus money, help each other out. Let's get some money heading into another loaded weekend. But we'll get back to the action here. We're going to go to the matchup with the Rangers and the Orioles here. And I go with that Adolis Garcia at plus 500. Now he's hitting just 226 against righties in the last 2 weeks, but he still has 4 home runs, a 15.8% barrel rate. He's going against Baltimore's Grayson Rodriguez. He's got solid stuff, but he's having issues adjusting. And in May, he's allowed home runs in all 4 starts in May, totaling 8 homers allowed in the 4 starts, and he's given up 10 this season. So 80% of the home runs that he's allowed have come this month. He's been giving up a lot of hard contact with a 10.6% barrel rate. I don't expect it to get better here. Give me Adolis Garcia at plus 500. Also going to look at Josh Young at plus 650. It's a great price for Young as well. Hitting 350 with 3 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 2 weeks. Has a 12.8% barrel rate this season. So give me Josh Young at plus 650. I'm going to switch dugouts. Going to look at a couple of Orioles here. I'm going to go look at Gunnar Henderson at plus 800. He's hitting 294 with a pair of home runs and 6 extra base hits against righties in the last 2 weeks. Henderson also went yard off of John Gray when these two teams met earlier this season. I don't expect John Gray to give up much here. He's been much better on the road, but I think if anyone's going to get one for the O's, it could be Henderson or our next Oriole, but Henderson going off at plus 800. The other one I'm looking at, Cedric Mullins at plus 700. I just can't pass up this value. He's hitting 410 with 4 home runs against righties in the last 2 weeks. Mullins' current form, like I said, is too good to look past. In his career against John Gray, small sample size, but he's hitting 500 with a home run against Gray. So I'm going to take a shot here with Cedric Mullins at plus 700. Also going to look at Aaron Judge in this Yankees and Yankees and Padres matchup. Plus 270. These, anytime I think you can find Judge over plus 250, I think it's great value. It doesn't sound like it, but when you consider that we've seen Judge in spots sometimes around plus 150 to plus 175, plus 270 is like getting a plus 250 money line price when you think it would be a coin flip. I mean, just a really good value here. He's got 7 home runs and a 412 batting average the last 2 weeks against righties. Still has a 30% barrel rate, and Padres pitcher Joe Musgrove has given up a 10.5% barrel rate this season and 6 home runs in his last 5 starts. Homers allowed in 4 of those 5 outings. So I'm going to take Aaron Judge at plus 270. Also going to look at Anthony Rizzo at plus 500. Has 5 home runs in the last 2 weeks against righties. A 297 batting average. My concern with Rizzo here is that the strikeout rate for Rizzo is fairly high. In his 37 at-bats in the last 2 weeks, he's had 16 strikeouts against righties in that 2-week span. But what that tells me is he's taking cuts. He won't be afraid to swing for the fences here. So I'm going to take Anthony Rizzo at plus 500. Also going to look at this matchup between the Cardinals and the Guardians. And I'm going to go with the two Nolans here. I'm going to start with Nolan Gorman at plus 425. He's hitting 382 with 3 home runs against righties in the last 2 weeks. Still leads the Cardinals with a 15.7% barrel rate. Shane Bieber, he's got 7 homers allowed this season, and they've come in his last 7 starts. He's given up at least 1 homer in 5 of those 7 outings. So give me Nolan Gorman at plus 425. Also give me Nolan Arenado at plus 550. I like this matchup for the Cardinals and Arenado. He's hitting 333 with 3 home runs in the last 2 weeks against righties. Do I expect Shane Bieber to get lit up here? Probably not, but it only takes 1 swing of the bat, and like I said, we've seen a lot of the damage for Bieber going out of the park coming in a lot of his recent starts. So give me Nolan Arenado at plus 550. Now, just quickly I want to touch on something. Obviously the main goal of this this home run prop show is to show you guys some free winners, but it's also to show you the benefit of betting props at the betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Plays. These tools are 100% free. They will do the heavy lifting for you. They show you the player props, they show you how often they hit, and they show you which book is giving you the best possible price. If you don't have an account with that book, well, it's easy. You sign up, you click that price, you sign up, you get a sportsbook bonus to play that best possible price, and you also add to your tool belt the one advantage that the books can't take away from you is your ability to shop lines and get the best possible number. So it's definitely a tool that you want to have. It's going to show you which book has that best price. And we also have betting tools for everybody. If you like betting streaks and trends, there's a streaks tool, there's parlay builders, there's profitable angles and teams. I could go on and on, probably do a show for an hour, maybe even 2, about how great these betting tools are at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Plays, but you just have to go over and check them out for yourself. I promise you, it's a lot more effective that way. Plus, you can make some nice money, make some nice change when you're checking them out as well. So definitely make sure you head over to pickdawgz.com, sportschatplays.com, and check out those betting tools. Well, let's get back into the home run prop action for Friday. I'm going to go with Austin Riley to start things up here again at plus 475. Now, he went yard twice on Thursday with a pair of 450-foot homers, like we mentioned. Has a career 429 batting average with a home run against Phillies' Taijuan Walker. Walker's allowed an 8.1% barrel rate this season. So give me Austin Riley at plus 475. Also going to roll with, we're going to switch dugouts here. Going to roll with Bryson Stott at plus 850. I think this is some solid value as well for Stott. He's hitting 429 in the last 2 weeks against righties with a pair of home runs. Now, the Atlanta Braves, Jared Schuster, he's been all right. He's allowed an above average 7% barrel rate this year. But Stott's numbers the last couple of weeks against lefties are definitely worth a shot at this price. Sometimes those sample sizes can be a bit inflated, but Stott is definitely putting bat to ball, and he's hitting fairly well as of late. So we're going to take Bryson Stott at plus 850. Also going to take Alec Boehm at plus 500. He's hitting 333 against lefties with a pair of home runs of his own. So give me Alec Boehm at plus 500. Also going to go with a stack from this Twins and Blue Jays matchup. Pair of Twins here. We're going to start things off with Joey Gallo at plus 320. Leads the Twins with a 21.7% barrel rate. He has 4 home runs against right-handed pitching in the last 2 weeks. And I've said about Kevin Gausman, when you look at Kevin Gausman on the road, this season he's got an 8.7% barrel rate, but he's been very hit or miss. He's been very all or nothing. With Kevin Gausman, you either get 6 or 7 shutout innings, or you get 8 runs allowed in 4 innings, 7 earned runs allowed in 3 1/3. It's been very hit or miss. So you just got to figure out which Gausman you're going to see. And I'm worried that against this Minnesota Twins team that's hitting right-handed pitching very well, you're going to see the latter. So I'm going to take Joey Gallo at plus 320. Also going to look at Byron Buxton at plus 375, hitting 320 with a pair of homers against righties in the last 2 weeks. So I'll take Buxton at plus 375. Switch dugouts are going to go with a couple of Blue Jays here. We're going to go with George Springer at plus 510. Now, Louis Varland giving up a 12.7% barrel rate this season. Springer posting a 372 batting average against righties in the last 2 weeks with 3 home runs. So I'm going to take George for a Springer dinger at plus 510. Also going to look at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 375, hitting 282 with 5 extra base hits and a home run against righties in the last 2 weeks. Tells me he's making solid contact and just coming up short. He does hit far better on the road for power. So give me Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 375. Also going to look at a pair of nationals here. I'm going to look at Heimer Candelario at plus 575. He's hitting 440 with 6 extra base hits, including a pair of home runs in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching. And Jordan Lyles, still tied for the league high, allowing 14 home runs this season. And that's also in addition to a brutal 12% barrel rate. So give me Heimer Candelario at plus 575. Also going to look at one more national. I'm going to look at CJ Abrams at plus 850. It's not often I've backed Abrams, but against righties in the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 348 with 3 home runs. I think this value is too great to pass up going against Jordan Lyles. So give me CJ Abrams here at plus 850. Now, the last thing I want to touch on before we get into our last couple of home run prop games is you hear me mention the term barrel rate. And for those of you who know what I'm about to say, well, I appreciate you getting to this part and for sticking with me. But barrel rate for me is the most important advanced analytic when it comes to betting on home run props. It's something that's come out in the last few years, but barrel rate is basically calculating how many barrels that a pitcher gives up or a batter hits. And what's classified as a barrel is sort of that perfect launch angle off of the bat. Just think of it as sort of like a piece on a pie chart, where that angle, the further you get into the launch angle, the more centered it is, and the harder the ball comes off the bat, the more likely you're going to have a well-hit ball into the outfield and subsequently a home run. Now, why is barrel rate important? Well, balls that were classified as barrels in 2022, 45% of them went for home runs, and that was the lowest percentage of barrels to home runs we had seen in a decade. Normally, we're talking about at least 50 to 60% of barrels going for home runs. And if you're going to give me a 45 to 60% probability edge on a plus money home run prop that's going off at least plus 250, anywhere up to plus 1,000 or more, I'm going to take that any day of the week. It's going to give us an added edge, as well as using these betting tools to find the best possible price. So when you hear me mention barrel rate, that's sort of where I go with it. And it goes both ways, like I said, not just for batters and how many balls they're putting in play classified as barrels, but for pitchers, how many barrels they're giving up as well on the mound. But we'll get into our last few home run props for Friday's action. We're going to go with Michael Conforto here at plus 650. This is some fantastic value on Conforto as well, hitting 346 with 4 home runs against righties in the last 2 weeks. He's really the only giant going yard against righties in that time frame. And Freddie Peralta, he's allowed 4 home runs in his last 4 outings, home runs in 3 of the last 4. So give me Michael Conforto at plus 650. Also going to look at Jorge Soler at plus 200. Not a great price for Soler, but again, I'm not going to pass up on plus money just because, even if his value is dwindling, it's still worth a look. He's hitting 500 with 3 home runs against lefties in the last 2 weeks, and he's been crushing mid-lefties all season long. Reed Detmers definitely falls into that class for me. Only has a 5.7% barrel rate allowed, but given how well Soler is swinging the stick against lefties and homering yesterday and 9 times in May, yeah, overall, I got to take a shot with Jorge Soler at plus 200. Also going to look at, it was plus 255. I stand corrected. There was the slide that we had for Jorge Soler for yesterday. Disappeared, but we still caught Jorge Soler at plus 200. We're going to take him at plus 255 today. My apologies for that one. But we're also going to look at Shohei Ohtani at plus 550 in that same game. I don't love picking against Jesus Luzardo. He's been solid for us, knock, but he's given up a home run in 5 of his last 6 starts, 7 home runs total over that span. And Luzardo has given up a home run against 2 Angels in his career. One of those was against Shohei Ohtani. So give me Shohei Ohtani at plus 550. Also going to look at Zach Neto here at plus 750. It's worth a shot. He's the only Angel with multiple home runs against left-handed pitching this year, hitting 286 against lefties on the season. So I'll take Zach Neto here at plus 750. And our last couple, I'm going to look at Yordan Alvarez as a standalone play from the Houston Astros at plus 290, hitting 333 with 4 homers against righties in May. I'm just not a fan of James Caprillion for the Oakland A's. He's allowed 6 home runs this season and is frankly lucky to have an 8.68 ERA, while Alvarez leads the Astros with a 19% barrel rate at the dish. Caprillion is allowing a 9.6% barrel rate on the mound. So give me Yordan Alvarez at plus 290. Also going to look at Christian Walker at plus 400 to round things out for the Diamondbacks, hitting .412 against lefties in the month of May with 4 home runs. He's going against Chris Sale, who has gotten back on track in recent starts, but all 3 of the runs that Sale has allowed in his last 2 starts have all come on solo home runs. And if any Diamondback is going to get him here, I think it's going to be Christian Walker. So give me Christian Walker at plus 400 to close things out. But we will take a look quickly at the home run prop action that we had for Friday's action. Started things off hot with Pete Alonso. Hoping he goes back to back here at plus 285. Also had Francisco Alvarez of the Mets at plus 550. Went to the Chicago Cubs and Cincinnati Reds. With the Cubs, we went with Christopher Morel at plus 550. Also had Seiya Suzuki at plus 750. Luis Robert to hit one at plus 475 for the White Sox. Also had Jake Berger to hit one at plus 575 for the White Sox. Riley Green at plus 650 for the Tigers. A couple of Rangers going with Adolis Garcia at plus 500. Josh Young to hit one at plus 650. Also went with, in that same game, going to go with Gunnar Henderson to hit one at plus 800. Also going to go with Cedric Mullins to hit one at plus 700. For the Yankees, we're going to go with Aaron Judge at plus 270. Anthony Rizzo for the Yankees as well at plus 500. And we're going to switch up to the St. Louis Cardinals. Nolan Gorman at plus 425. Also going with Nolan Arenado at plus 550. For the Braves, we're going to look at Austin Riley to go yard again here at plus 475. Bryson Stott at plus 850. For the Phillies, we're going to go with Alec Boehm at plus 500. For the Twins, in this Twins-Blue Jays game, we're going to go with Joey Gallo at plus 320. And Byron Buxton at plus 375. For the Blue Jays, George Springer at plus 510. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at plus 375 as well for the Blue Jays. For the Washington Nationals, we're going with Heimer Candelario at plus 575. CJ Abrams at plus 850. Some more solid value with Michael Conforto at plus 650 for the Giants. And also for the Miami Marlins, Jorge Soler at plus 255. Switch dugouts in that game. We're going to go a couple of Angels here. Shohei Ohtani at plus 550. And Zach Neto at plus 750. And a couple standalone plays to round things out. Yordan Alvarez at plus 290. And Christian Walker for the Diamondbacks at plus 400. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and sticking with me this entire time. It was a bit of a longer show. But again, appreciate each and every one of you for showing up. We're close to 130,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. And again, we're over 130,000 subscribers. Wouldn't able to do it without your guys' love and support. So make sure that if you're not already, you've subscribed to our channel. Please smash that like button and make sure you have notifications turned on. Sometimes, when we don't have a lot of night action like this, we have some afternoon action. We try to get the videos out as early as possible. But sometimes, it just it takes a little while to get the prices in, and we can't wait forever for these prices to come in. I want to be able to get you guys these best bets. So make sure that you check those out. And you have notifications turned on so you can be in the know when the newest content drops here at Pickdawgz. And also, make sure that if you're heading to pickdawgz.com and clicking the Premium Picks tab for my best bets. And make sure you're checking out these betting tools. I can't implore everyone, I can't stress it enough. Check out these betting tools. They're 100% free. They'll do the heavy lifting for you. They are definitely something that you want to check out and a tool on your belt for when you're making your best bets for the day's action. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Let's crush the books on Friday.